like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes.
So sorry, guys. I was trying to get TikTok up because I wanted to stream to both places tonight. I should have never done that. Sorry about that. You guys are probably like, why isn't she even looking at us? But if you are on TikTok, will you let me know if my sound is okay? I think that it's on. Yeah, it's on. So it should be going on over there. So I figure since we're going to be reading a book tonight, I could do, multiple platforms. It's a little easier. Come in and sit down, sweetheart. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm going to probably shut that door if she comes in here. Oh, she's taking it out. Oh my gosh. She's taking her bed out the door right now. Okay. She's incredible. She's an incredible dog. But here in a second, you'll probably hear me get up really quick, but I'll shut the door as soon as Vincent gets home. I'm just going to let her do whatever she wants to do right now. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I do appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, my name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. And I do appreciate you guys being here with me this evening. Normally, my dog's not moving around so much. Tonight, she's moving and grooving. Now she's coming back in. So, okay, she can't make up her mind. I wish that you guys can kind of see her. Now she's over there. Now she's beside me. Okay, it's going to be one of those nights. So, if you guys are new to the channel, like I said, my name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. If you're new to my TikTok, head over to YouTube to TitaniumBuilt. That's where I have most of my platform, and I post most of my content. So I feel like I'm losing my voice already. That's not good, is it? I'm gonna grab my glasses. So we have my glasses and everything. So True Crime Lullabies, she's a subscriber in our chat, and she's a friend of mine. And she sends me books, and I love that. That's like, who doesn't want to learn, right? So I'm halfway through with the other book that I take down to the pool with me. And then she sent us this book, The Idaho for an American Tragedy. I was gonna buy this, and we were talking about it in the chat one night, and she's like, I'm sending it to you. And I was like, oh, and I took it out of my cart. I was like, don't want to buy it twice, but I did buy the ebook for you guys. That way we could read along with each other. Like, if you guys want to read along too, because I figured if I sit here and I just read it out of the book, you guys won't have nothing to really look at. I was going to put up pictures as we went, but then I was like, I don't know. I think it'll be better if we do it the way we did our last book. We have read a couple books on the Idaho case on this channel. The other two that are popular that are out there. So the Howard Bloom book, and then I can't remember the name of the other one. While Idaho Slept, I think, is the other one that we read. So awesome. Glad I sound fine over there. Let me know if I sound okay over on TikTok, since I do have a wireless mic on. That's what this little black thing is. So, and welcome in, everybody. Sorry, I'm so sorry that I'm coughing into the mics. I really don't mean to do that. My voice was perfectly fine a minute ago. But we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. I'm going to put some stuff on my lips so they're not so dry. And then we're going to get into it. I was going to buy the audiobook, but if you insist, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I actually, I got the ebook because, to tell you guys the truth, I didn't realize that, and nobody come and use this against me, but I didn't realize that having one eye, it really does affect the reading. Like, this book is kind of small, like the writing in it. I mean, to you guys, it's probably regular. That's probably regular, but to me, I can see that like overworking one eye. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to read the ebook. It's a little bit bigger print, larger print for me. So let me pull it up for us. I think you might be, nope, someone else is home. Not him. But let me say hi to some people in the chat over on our YouTube page. I wasn't muted. I'm going to the top. I wasn't muted. I was actually just ignoring you guys there for a minute. I didn't think I was on the stream. I thought I was still down in the back stream. Like, I didn't even look over. Like, I was just so worried about like trying to get this fixed. And I know that I'm sideways, and I'm sorry. And let me go ahead and fix it a little bit, like, so you guys can see the actual studio and not out in the hallway. Okay. Oh, we'll get there. Hey, Ladybug, how you doing? Hey, Willows. I won't say hi to everybody, but I'll go through them pretty quick. I think so anyway. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Kathy. If I miss anybody, I'm sorry. Hey, Legal Lacey. Welcome in. Hey, Mega Mama. Not Mega. Man, the MA. It gets me every time. Hey, baby girl. Welcome in. Hey, Ishi, your dog is so cute. I've been thinking about your dog since you sent that. Your dog's been living rent free in my head for like the last few days. I'm not even going to lie. His hair blowing in the wind like that. He just looks so cute. He's definitely one of the cutest dogs I've ever seen. Patients are acting crazy. Oh, change up their meds. That'd be fun. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to think of something witty my dad would say. He would say something witty right there. But hey, Courtney, welcome in. You pre-ordered the book? Oh, well, you can come over here and listen. Gotta get through tomorrow and then off for 3 days. Oh, I bet you're excited. Well, welcome on in, everybody. It seems like everybody was just chit-chatting in the chat while I was, take my good old time. Hey, Kathleen. I really wasn't. I was running around. Hey, Lenora. I swear everything hits the fan right before live. Hey, Lenora. I bet you if you ask any like content creator, they would say that. Like, it's something. It just something comes up. Hey, Catherine. It's usually my dogs. And hi, Miss Reba. Hey, Princess. I tried to find this book for free, but I couldn't find it. The other one I found for free, I was like, yeah, that's cool. But I think it's because the book was like older and it was not as expensive. Hey, Sailor, how you been? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Pete. Feels like it anyway. Hey, Dexter D. It probably was like a couple days, and but I'm here every night. And if you're over on TikTok, I just saw that I said X on my thing. So if you're ever on TikTok and you want to follow me, that would be great. I'm going to start posting more content over here. We do talk about true crime every day on my YouTube channel. If you guys don't mind, hit the like button. I don't know if you have a like button on X, or not on X, I'm sorry, on TikTok, but we are streaming at X as well. We're streaming everywhere. We're everywhere tonight. Tom, this music sucks. You love the music. I love that. You don't know me, do you? Hello, everyone, and Tanya. I like that. Oh, yes, the new fur baby. Oh, I bet he's excited. Oh, I bet the dog's all over the place. You know what I mean? Like once it's sit in his lap, he's like probably sitting to the side. The dog to the side jumps on his lap. That's how it usually works. Can't we get the Titanic music or something? If you want me to cry every night that we come on, Tom, geez, that song makes me want to. As soon as I hear the beginning notes of that song, it's instant tears for me. It is. I went to see that movie in theaters. That's how old I am. And it was so full that we couldn't all sit together. Me and my friends sat together, and then we made our other friends sit by herself. We're mean. Hey, Austin. And hey, Ice Cream. How you doing? Hey, Trixies. I think we're getting down to the bottom. And welcome in, everybody. I'm glad everybody's here. Get comfortable. Get a snack. Get to the ducking point. Hey, Jog. Okay, I think I got pretty much everybody there. I think so. Maybe. Ran into a mud hole. Oh, that dog's so furry. We have another furry. We have another furry dog here that lives here. Our dogs don't really have that much fur, but they do shed. One of them sheds. One of them's not supposed to. But after looking at my chair today, I did take my Chomp Chomp to the chair after the live. I thought I was going to sit back there tonight. I didn't. You're going to change your name again, Princess? What is it going to be? Caught Up in Crime. Welcome in. What happened to I missed it. I am doing a training. I got a second job at the airport. They make you do stupid. Hey, they don't make you take your shoes off anymore. That to me is weird. Like, I don't know. I never really was in airports. I was in airports a lot prior to 9/11. But I didn't fly until probably like 5 years, probably 8 years ago or something like that. That was probably the first time I flew. Yeah, we read that one, Legal AC. We did. We read that one. You want to go to Hawaii, baby girl? Oh, man. I hear that the airport, though, is not too bad of a job. I mean, just if anyone gives you any shit, just give it right back to them. That's what I would do. Thank you for reposting the stream, Legal AC. That's very nice of you. I can't believe I can see the stuff for X. I usually can't. So that's why I'm like in amazement. Hey, Crystal. You worked at the movies when it came out? I think I was like 12 when it came out. 12, maybe 13. I want to go to Hawaii. Yeah, mail me a pineapple too. You gonna go by yourself? You know what? I think that could be really relaxing. I was in Chipotle the other day, and I'm sitting there, and I'm standing in line, and I saw this guy sit down by himself, and I'm like, oh, look at that guy, like having lunch by himself. Like, that's really awesome, like he's not scared to do that, like I would probably be a little nervous to sit down in a restaurant by myself. I'm just like that. I would just rather get DoorDash or something, but I was like, that's cool, and then his son, I think it was his son, came and sat with him, and it made me laugh because I was like, oh, never mind. Get a DoorDash? Oh, are you doing DoorDash? Yeah, you can make good money doing DoorDash. Vincent did something like that when we first started dating. I can't remember what it was. Hey, Squeaky, where the heck you been? It's probably been one day. Actually, I think it was just the live from this morning or this afternoon. We did do a live this afternoon. We went over, what did we go over, guys? We went over Ethan Chapin's parents' brand new interview that just came out. It came out today. There's going to be stuff in this book that might allude to a motive in the Idaho 4 quadruple murders. And I know we talked about something. What was the big thing? Oh, we talked about the Peacock, the Peacock documentary that just came out. So I'm going to set this book behind me. I don't know if you guys can't really see it though on the Tiki Talk. If I put it back, no, if I take it off the desk, I need like something right back here, but that's okay. So thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it so much. I really do. If you guys don't mind, like I said, take a second, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I think I didn't pin it. I'll pin the link to the membership. If you would like to join our channel membership over on YouTube, we would love to have you. We're going to be doing a members only live here soon. I want to do one this week. I also am going to do a live on my second channel tomorrow. I'm not sure the time. I think it's going to be early afternoon between like 12 and 2. It's going to be over it's not nobody in particular. It's just going to be a straight stream over the term grifting and what it means. So that way people can, they can get to know what it means. That's all. Also, last but not least, I'm going to link, I need to do this. Okay. I'm going to link my Patreon in case anybody wants to watch the first. I forgot to put the 4th episode out. I'm so sorry. So I have the first 3 episodes of the Prime video for the Idaho 4. And then we have the 1.5-hour Peacock documentary that came out. So I'll put the other one out, I promise, tomorrow morning. I got a note. I got to post it. I need to take this notepad to my room, to my bedroom. That's what I need to do. So we're going to go ahead. We'll get into the book. Let me pull it up here for us. Oh, look, there it is. Okay, now I need to pull it up for myself. Let's see. It's just going to take me a second because I got to get you guys. What if I... Perfect. Okay. Can't see myself. Am I okay? I'll be fine. Do I look okay? Do I look okay? I can't see myself now. Welcome in. I can't say that name. Is it Kavik? Kavik. Oh man, I know I butcher y'all's names so much. So much. I thought I saw someone else coming in. Oh, Toys R Us kid. Welcome in. Okay. We're getting ready to read. I'm going to take all the stuff. I'm going to take the comments off. That way you guys have a good view. And then I think we're going to do it like this. So that way you can see my little, please like and subscribe. So I don't have to ask you guys at all. I was looking for the actual book, but I need the ebook. Okay, let's see. Keeps like going behind you guys, so okay. I'm going to check something really quick. So we want to do I think this is the prelude. Yeah, okay, prologue. Is it prologue or prologue? Whichever. I've been reading books my whole life. You think I would know. That's all I ever did when I was a kid. Read books. Let's read books. So, don't you make fun of me. I should have asked baby girl about this name of this place in Washington. Wenatchee, Washington, November 13th, 2022. And this is going to be part 1. Chief, we've got a bad situation. James Fry, the God-fearing chief of the Moscow, Idaho Police Department, picks up the call from Captain Tyson Barrett informing him of a mass homicide. 4 murders at 1122 King Road. Barrett has the inside track. Ava and Emily, 2 of the kids in the group, sitting outside the rental house, worked at the football stadium. The Kibbe Dome, is under Barrett's purview, so He knows them well. It's Sunday and Fry is about an hour into the 4-hour drive back from an overnight visit with a friend in Wenatchee, Washington, 150 miles east of Seattle. Whatever has happened, whoever the victims are, it already feels too close for comfort. In the passenger seat listening is Julie Fry, the chief's whip-smart wife, a 30-odd years, also happens to be the newly elected Latah County clerk. Chief Fry will later say he should have let Julie drive, but now it's all he can do to absorb what Barrett tells him. 4 young people, likely UI students, stabbed in their bedrooms, in their beds, in a residence that's part of a large cluster of student housing right on the campus line. And no one heard a thing. Fry put in 30 years on the force. The common assumption about small-town police chiefs is that they have no experience with murder, but this is not Fry's first brush with homicides on campus. In 2007, when he was still a sergeant, he worked on 3 homicides in just 1 year. One involved a University of Idaho student, David Boss, who was shot by a former classmate. In 2011, as a lieutenant, Chief oversaw the investigation of another university tragedy. That summer, psychology professor Ernesto Bustamante, who had a history of mental illness, fatally shot Katie Benoit, a 22-year-old graduate student he'd previously dated outside her home, then later turned the gun on himself. Even so, Fry already knows that this one is different. He knows that this is going to test the department in an unprecedented way. He also knows this is too big for Moscow to handle without help. In a rural area like this, there's a general view that it's all hands on deck. He's going to need the support from the state, probably the FBI, but first things first. It's not his job to run point at the scene of the crime. When he was a detective, which was not so long ago, he headed up investigations, but now he's chief, and chiefs who get in the way of their teams can really screw things up. His role today is to stay in close touch with his officers, provide whatever support is needed. Part of leading, Fry believes, is trusting and delegating, but Fry knows that when adrenaline is running high, anyone can forget things, so he rattles off a punch list to Tyson Barrett, realizing from experience that his captain is out in front of him. "Have you reached Bill?" he asked, referring to veteran county prosecutor Bill Thompson, who has never lost a case. Wow. In their parallel careers, the chief and the prosecutor have worked close crime scene together. They met every single day at 8 a.m. Fry's belief in Thompson, the only prosecutor in Idaho who has ever won a murder conviction in the absence of a dead body, is unwavering. On his way, Barrett says, the 2 forensic officers, Lawrence Mowry and Andrew Fox, are Fry's appointments. State, a scene as big as this needs help from the Idaho State Police forensics team, based in Lewiston, about 30 miles south of Moscow. On their way. "Who have you got there?" Barrett tells him that Mitch Nunes was the first officer on scene, and at this, Fry blanches. "My heart broke," he said later. His 37-man department runs like a family. 22-year-old Nunes is like a son to Fry, a baby. Wow. So the officer, that first officer on the scene, was only 22 years old. Good grief. That's so sad. Yeah, right. Caught up crime. Yeah. Wow, that's real sad. He was literally a year older than the victims. He knows that his youngest officer will never be able to erase this from his mind, the horrific crime scene that he just witnessed, that he will forever be altered, and Fry will need to find Nunes and his wife the resources to cope with the trauma. Mental health is not something that's discussed when Fry was a rookie, and he believes that was a mistake. PTSD, according to Fry's longtime ride-along partner and best friend, we're going to call him Paul, lingers as he sorts through memories that won't dim. Fry is going to take care of his young officers and their families, make sure they feel supported. Speaking of, has the university been notified? Affirmative. Where's Brett Payne? 2 months prior, Fry promoted Brett Payne, a 32-year-old cop and military veteran, whom he hired in 2020, to detective corporal, a new position in the department that Fry created for a reason. Ordinarily, detectives are the higher rank of sergeant, but Fry had been faced with a specific set of challenges. He had to run a small department at a time when applications for jobs in law enforcement were dwindling. This was shortly after an officer in Minnesota had been convicted in the death of George Floyd. The chief decided to free up some of the sergeants to learn the administrative part of police work, how to actually run a department, pay bills, budget, and so forth. Which means today, Fry realizes Payne will be the one to lead this investigation, organize the department into teams, talk about diving into the deep end. Tyson responds that yes, Payne is on his way to the crime scene. He'll get there at around 4 p.m., which will be ahead of Fry. He presses harder on the gas and dials a number. Rand, he says into the phone of Dr. Rand Walker, a local therapist who counseled his officers before. I need you to be on standby. The rest of the drive is a blur of staccato calls. Chief Gary Jenkins, the head of Washington State University Police over in Pullman and former chief of the Pullman PD, phones. Do you need backup from us? Jenkins asked. The two departments often tag team. Moscow's last convicted murderer, John Lee, had in fact been caught on the run by the officers in Pullman. But Fry is cautious. In 2015, they knew who the murderer was. This time, they had no idea. Fry is aware of the importance of locking down an investigation, keeping information on a need-to-know basis to stop leaks that could jeopardize it. He and Bill Thompson are completely in sync on this. Thompson never speaks to anyone about an investigation until he gets to sentencing, and even then, he keeps it short. And there are too many unanswered questions right now. It's not safe or prudent for Fry to involve another team. Not yet, Fry tells Jenkins, I'll keep you posted. Barrett shared with Fry that a knife sheath was found in one of the rooms. It's imperative this doesn't get out. So he wasn't even at the crime scene yet, and he knew about the sheath. So that's crazy. Somewhere there's a maniacal murderer on the loose who is almost certainly watching over every move. Who in God's name could have done this? Fry wonders. And again, he presses harder on the gas. One good thing about being the police chief, is that no one is likely to arrest him for speeding. So part 2, 1 hour later, I'm going to grab my drink really quick. Is it not a good sound? Oh, the sound's really high. Son of a gun. Oh, the sound was so high. Is that better? Is the sound better now? I turned it down. I was probably screaming in your ears. I'm so sorry. I cleaned today, and I turned it up and I was like wiping it. I didn't realize it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so sorry. I'm glad you guys told me. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me. I looked down. I was like, holy crap. It's okay. We have 2 ears. Yeah, see? Hey, I lost an eye. You guys can lose an ear. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Okay, so 1 hour later. Sorry about that. I try to be not loud too when I read to you guys. It's so sad. I'm so sad. So the notifications about death are the thing Chief Fry dreads most in this job. It takes seconds to give or receive the news, yet the needlessly lost lives haunt his dreams. He can recall each and every one as he hurtles towards Moscow. Take January 22nd, 2013, nearly a decade ago, he had been a lieutenant. A couple had shown up at the station, wondering anxiously where their son was. A Latah County Sheriff's deputy had found a body the next day and called it in. The corpse had been on the ground for 2 days. It looked like the kid, a college student named Joseph Wyderick, had frozen to death. He had been intoxicated. The department spread out trying to piece together what had happened, and Fry became the point person for the kids' parents. Notifying parents of the loss of their children is something you never get better at. And tragically, student deaths are not that unusual. There's one practically every semester. Typically, it's the result of a car accident that occurs during the long drive most of the kids take to cross the to cross the state in treacherous conditions in winter. One year, Fry taught a class up at the university, and right before Thanksgiving break, he told his students, "Remember, drive extra slow. Your parents don't care what time you get there. They just want you there." Fry may be a cop, but he's also a husband and the father of 4 kids, 3 daughters and a son. "I understand what it's like as a parent to drop a child off," he'll say. He knows that parents expect their kids to be safe in college. And he also knows it's something they aren't. The tragedy with young Joseph Wyderick was a double whammy for Fry because it seemed like no one in the community helped the kid out by notifying law enforcement that he was in trouble on the night he ended up dying. His body was found 2 miles from town, 2 miles. Fry knew that someone must have spotted the drunk kid while he was walking. Sure enough, when all the details about Wyderick's final night were in, and when Fry put together a map for Joseph's mom, Michelle, it emerged that Joseph walked a circuitous 8 miles before lying down to rest one last time. Various people in the town did see the kid. They could have helped him by calling MPD when he stumbled into their backyards or, in a few cases, into their homes. I don't mean to talk while we read the book, but that's crazy to me. Are you leaving, Is she? Have a good night. Finland. I love that. Wow. Man. Instead, they just watched him or sent him on his way. One lady later said, "I just didn't want to get him in trouble." Joseph would have been in trouble. He would have been locked up and most likely given a criminal citation, but nothing more. Fry tells everyone he works with that the key to serving the community is respect, respect, respect. You ever see the movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze? He'll ask people if they have it. He tells them to watch it. The movie's message is his message, the one he instills in his officers. Be nice, be nice, be nice. And until it's time not to be nice, be nice. If you treat people with respect, even when you arrest them, they'll thank you. But in 2013, the town's residents seem unaware of the chief's message of police compassion. The tragic story of Joseph Wyderick that he had put together went something like this. On January 20th at 2 a.m., a Moscow woman hears a noise downstairs. She goes to take a look. Is it an animal? It's a human, a drunk human. An 18-year-old man, clearly distorted, smelling of alcohol, his blonde hair disheveled, is stumbling around in her basement. She doesn't know how he got in. He's lost. Safe, safe, he mumbles to her. It's clear he wants to stay, sleep it off. Oh, sorry. But she asks him to leave. He'll figure it out. No need to call the police. It's black outside, snowdrift piled high, but students often wander drunk, a nuisance with their noise and their parties. Joseph shuffles off down Highland Drive. 3 a.m., bang, bang, he's knocking on another door, this one on Mountain View Road. The owner looks through the window. Go home, he says to the kid. Again, there's no call to police. The townsfolk think they're protecting him. It's a mistake. 4 a.m., bang, bang, a third homeowner looks out the window, shrugs, and goes back to bed. Joseph wanders away. He's trying to get back to his dorm, but has no idea where he's headed. Somehow he ends up near Paradise Creek, 2 miles north of the city. Joseph trips and falls. He hits the frozen creek. His body sinks like a dead weight through the ice into the frigid water. He fights. He climbs out. He crawls under a nearby bridge and rest. His body is discovered by police 2 days later. It emerges that Joseph Wyderick had drunk too much at a Saturday night party given by the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity. Fry doesn't like to toot his own horn, but he reckons that since he became chief in 2016, attitudes in town have changed about a lot of things, including over-the-top college drinking. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. Is everybody good? Oh, thanks, Dion. I appreciate that. Hey, I might be able to try out for the best one-eyed reader. I don't think anyone could beat me there. Okay. I was just getting that back over. Vincent just got home. I'm going to grab my chapstick real quick and my drink. I ain't letting them dogs back in. They both left. Oh, is she still here? Okay. I was trying to see where we're. Okay. We were at the bottom here. So he isn't stupid enough to think you can stop college kids from drinking, but he believes you can take steps to keep it in check. You can, for example, go as he does to Rosaires to look at the keg list and figure out where each keg is. If a keg is somewhere it isn't supposed to be, if say it's with a group of underage kids, you take it away nicely, but that's what you do. We used to have keggers all the time. No one was going to take our beer. One time, Fry and the guys took 42 cases of Keystone Light away from a fraternity party because they saw a 19-year-old pushing the cart. So yes, you've got to teach them that the law is the law. If Fry and his ride-along partner, Captain Paul Kowalski, that's a hard name. I don't think it'll. Oh, it will. Kowalski had been called to deal with drunk Joseph Wyderk. Sure, they might have locked him up, but he'd still have his life ahead of him. Fry is upset that people in Moscow don't get that. What else can we do? He asked Paul one time. Keep going, his friend and colleague said. Don't give up. The two guys had looked at the frame quotation on Fry's wall. The chief knows them by heart, but he still reads them every day. The first one is from Philippians 4:7. And the peace of God, I've always had a problem with that one, which passeth all understanding, will guard your heart and your minds. The second is from a Theodore Roosevelt speech on citizenship. In April 1910, after finishing his second term as U.S. president, Roosevelt delivered the Man in the Arena speech at the Sorbonne in Paris. He was on his way to Oslo, Norway, to officially accept the Nobel Peace Prize, which he had been awarded in 1906 for his efforts to end the Russo-Japanese War. He had to wait 4 years to get his prize. Oh, I've been like, you better send that in the mail. Carrier pigeon. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who comes short again and again, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Fry thinks about those words, who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. So as Chief reaches the city's outskirts, he takes a deep breath. He knows that with this startling, awful, and strange case, now more than ever, he needs to get a critical message through. The Moscow police on his watch are to be trusted, not feared. Part 3. And it's just the prologue. I can't ever say it. So 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, 2 hours earlier. Officer Nunes radios the police station and reaches Sergeant Shane Gunderson, who's been taking advantage of his quiet Sunday morning shift to plan a hiking trip to Mount Bora on the other side of the state. This is serious, Nunes tells him. Gunderson snaps out of his bed, leaps into his car, and heads for King Road. As he rides, he phones Tyson Barrett. His boss, the commander of the campus police, is on call that day. Barrett says he's already sent patrol officers Smith and Warner to join Nunes, who's taping off the area around the house. Barrett knows what to do, and not just because he's an experienced cop. He was the sergeant assigned to Moscow's previous famous homicide, the case of John Lee, a mentally ill man who went on a shooting spree in January 2015, killing 3 people, including his adoptive mother. But Barrett has another advantage here. He's a vandal, the name of the school's athletics teams, a nickname that comes from the long ago U of I basketball team said to have vandalized its opponents. He knows the school, the student, the faculty, the administration, the culture. He's been attached to the university on and off for years. He worked it years ago as a sergeant, his daughter as a student. When Barrett arrives, he recognizes Ava Wood, a neighbor who rushed out with blankets for the group of students sitting in front of that house at 1122 King Road. I knew they had blankets around them. Do you know the people inside, Ava? Barrett asked. She nods and Barrett looks at her, her eyes filled with sympathy. And then he turns to the front door and all those years of training and experience kick in. He runs through his checklist. Number 1, clear the residence and run tape around the perimeter. Check. 2, call for medical assistance if needed. There is no need. 3, secure the scene. Check. Nunes has put up the tape. Barrett assigns 1 cop to watch the front of the house, another the back. 4, call in the detectives who will lead the investigation. There will be 5 detectives: John Lawrence, who is about to retire, Danny Vargas, Brett Payne, Detective Corporal, and forensic detectives Lawrence Mowry and Andrew Fox. Barrett knows it's important to call only those cops who will play essential roles. With each body comes the risk of contaminating evidence. 5, notify the police chief. 6, notify the county prosecutor, Bill Thompson. 7, notify other Moscow PD captains, Anthony Dowlinger and Roger Lanier. 8, call the sergeant running the Idaho State Police detectives. Moscow is going to need the state's police forensics team at a bare minimum. This is too big for the MPD to handle alone. State has a forensics lab. Moscow does not. Call the university's president, provost, and dean of students. 10, call the coroner, but not until all the evidence is collected. Someone might accidentally move something and contaminate the scene. 11, notify the public that there is a threat. You think that you'd put the threat up higher on the list? Like that'd probably be number 1. Hey, there's a threat. I mean, that would be number 1 on my list, right? Okay. Barrett knows not just, and I mean, I went to school for criminal justice, and I would do things a little differently than that checklist. We should look at that compared to Kohberger's checklist. Barrett knows not just from his years of experience, but from common sense that the probability of some random stranger knifing 4 people to death in their bedroom is almost nil. There's a connection somewhere between whoever did this and at least one of the victims. There always is. That's what the police are going to have to find. The patrol officer correctly begin with the people in front of them. Why is this young student, Hunter Johnson, holding a kitchen knife? What happened here? Hunter sits with the patrol officers and tells them what happened as best he knows. They let him go. Sirens start to wail, but the first emergency vehicle that arrives is unnecessary. It's the volunteer ambulance, the medical responders to the 911 call. So they're just the volunteer ambulance people. It stays a couple of minutes, then at the cop's request, leaves. It's too late. It's much too late for anyone to need medical attention. So now we're going to be doing part 1, and this is going to be the innocence. And I don't know how many parts are in here. I usually let you guys know. This book is pretty long though. Let me see if I can find it. But the chapters are short. I'm just trying to see how many parts are in here for everybody really quick. I think there's 6 parts. So they're pretty long. Yeah, this is the James Patterson book. I guess I could probably put that. Let me do something really quick. You gave me an idea, Squeaky. Sorry. If you guys don't mind while I'm doing this, I'm done now, but take a second and hit the like button for me. I'm going to put this up. That'll help when people come in. You know, they might be able to be like, oh, we're reading a book. That's what's going on here, you know? So this is part 1, The Innocents. If you're just now joining, it's the best part to join because, I mean, we just did the prologue, whatever it's called. We just did that. So we're starting with, this is the first chapter. So chapter 1, it's going to be Moscow, Idaho, August 18th, 2019. It's bid day at the University of Idaho. Kaylee Goncalveses and Maddie Mogen chose the University of Idaho precisely because of its strong Greek life. Nearly 1/4 of UI students take part. The two look alike. Blonde, Maddie is natural, Kaylee is dyed. Best friends, both freshmen, take their seats in the auditorium. They glance nervously at the throng of women packed around them like canned sardines, all clutching envelopes. Inside each is the name of the sorority the student has gotten into. Kaylee and Maddie's top choice was Alpha Phi, or I think it's A Phi, as it's known, APhi, pronounced APhi. As one of its members described the sorority, it's a place for blondes, for homecoming queens, for popular girls, leader girls who like to party, and to get ready to party. Last night, to help the newcomers make up their minds, the sororities invited the women to a so-called preference ceremonies at their top choices. At AFI, one of the sisters told a sad but moving story. Her boyfriend, a football star, had tragically lost his battle with cancer, and the support of the house was what got her through. Both girls know that Greek life isn't just about parties. The friendship and networks and bonds formed in each house are an important factor in most students' social and later professional lives. Maddie wants a career in marketing, Kaylee in IT. Kaylee and Maddie drove to campus together and spent the past few days rushing together, and the past 6 years doing everything together. Maddie had been entering Kaylee's house without knocking, just like she's part of Kaylee's noisy, happy, hectic, vast family since they were both 12 years old. Maddie is more of a girly girl than Kaylee, who used to be a bit more of a tomboy. Kaylee is more of an extrovert than Maddie and maybe more of a hustler. She had to be to get what she wants, given the size of the Goncalveses household. Kaylee has 4 siblings. Maddie is an only child, and her home, by contrast, is quiet. Since their early teens, these two shared summer boat rides on the lake in Coeur d'Alene, winter bathing in the nearby hot springs, trips to Seattle, beach vacations in Puerto Rico and Grand Cayman in Hawaii. They never spent more than a few days apart. Maddie recently heard that UI sororities like to separate girls who know each other well. Apparently, the point of Greek life is to make new friends, not cling to old ones. Here is the auditorium. Maddie waits to learn if AFI will choose Kaylee over her. It's a daunting moment as the clock ticks on. 20 seconds to go. The hundreds of freshman girls in the auditorium count down together. 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2. Maddie and Kaylee tear open their envelopes. There are screams all around, women sobbing, running. Maddie's eyes blur with tears. She didn't make a fee, and Kaylee did. The slip of paper in Maddie's envelope tells her she's been picked by Pi Beta Phi, known as Pi Phi, pronounced Pi Phi, a perfectly respectable sorority, but not generally considered a top house on campus. Within seconds, there's a stampede for the exit as the women race out to the lawn to find their new sorority sisters standing out there under the signs. Here now isn't the time to say goodbye, but for Maddie and Kaylee, it's an ending and it's a beginning. So chapter 2, Moscow, Idaho, August 20th, 2019. Maddie's a talented photographer. She's done some modeling, so she knows how to make an Instagram seductive. The Pi Phi sisters want to build up their house's reputation so they can be more competitive with the ones like AFI. Maddie does her part, creating a scene befitting a Disney movie. 7 beaming modern-day Cinderellas, Maddie among them, pose on the steps of the Pi Phi sorority house in matching white tank tops. The 4 older sisters have on matching pink miniskirts, and the 3 younger sisters wear matching denim shorts. The archway behind them is covered with pink balloons. Maddie captions it, I ran home. Kaylee comments, "That's my best friend. I love you so much. For life, baby." And of course, Kaylee knows how disappointed Maddie is, and she hurts because Maddie is hurting. Showing wisdom beyond their years, the friends accept the idea that widening their respective social circles will be good for both of them. In other words, they'll play the game of Greek life. Kaylee can't fail to express her own unmitigated joy about her acceptance into AFI, which is why she posted a photo of herself smiling with two new sorority sisters in front of the Alpha Phi house with the caption, "What Flo Rida said, hashtag welcome to my house," referencing the rapper's 2015 hit, My House. Maddie comments, "So happy for you, bestie." And then two little heart eyes. Their public Instagram, TikToks, and Snapchats tell the story of their growing closeness with their new sisters and new best friends. Privately, Kaylee and Maddie remained as tight as ever, quietly maintaining their lifelong bond, IRL, in real life, as the expression goes. Maddie's posts reflect her new friendship with sorority sisters Sophia Whitehead, who is a year above her, and Ashleen Couch, who, like her, is from Coeur d'Alene. Kaylee's posts show weekend activities, attending U of I football games on campus, traveling to Seattle with her AFI sorority sisters, and nuzzling her boyfriend, Jack DeCour. But they don't post his pictures. What they don't post is pictures with each other. The two keep up this illusion of separateness well into the next semester, when the balloon of unreality surrounding them is abruptly pierced. In March 2020, COVID strikes. Chapter 3, Rathdrum, Idaho, March 2020. Oops, sorry. At the end of spring break, Kaylee and Maddie both receive emails containing the same instructions. Don't come back to the sorority house. School is going remote. The girls are home in Rathdrum and the neighboring town of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and for them, it's like old times. They have each other. And given the stress surrounding the virus, they decided that pretense, even on social media, is no longer important. The day after Maddie's birthday, May 25th, Maddie May Day, Kaylee posts the first Instagram photo of the two best friends together since their arrival at UI. The two of them are hugging, wearing pretty summer dresses, standing by the lake, the easiest person to celebrate. Kaylee writes, "Here's to you, my sweet Maddie May." Later that summer, Kaylee gives Maddie a shout out. At Maddie Mogen, "Thanks for always being my personal photographer." It's a source of pride to Kaylee that Maddie has been asked to run the official Instagram account for the Pi Phis. This is a huge honor. It's also an irony. Maddie, initially disappointed to be joining Pi Beta Phi, is now responsible for attracting recruits and making the house look as appealing as Alpha Phi. She's good at this. Thanks to her pretty pictures, despite the isolation of COVID, the number of freshman women interested in joining is climbing. Few people in the Goncalveses family think COVID is the big deal that UI administrators believe it is. The Goncalveses children have been raised not to trust the government or institutions. They're libertarians. They live to bet on themselves. Okay. Kaylee's dad, Steve, works in IT at the hospital in Coeur d'Alene, an hour and a half north of Moscow. Over dinners at home, he tells his family that the only people who are dying in the hospital are those who have pre-existing conditions, mostly they're obese. He thinks the university is making a mistake not letting the kids back, and so does Kaylee. As the weeks stretch on, her frustration grows. Paying to take college classes over Zoom is bad enough, but bills keep coming in from AFI. She's livid that she and her AFI sisters are paying live-in dues for the house they're not allowed to occupy. Oh, yeah, I'd be mad too. Following orders unquestioningly is not a Goncalves thing to do. So Kaylee queries the chapter president. Why are they paying for nothing? If they can't get some of the money returned, Kaylee says she doesn't want to go back to the house in the fall. The rules are the rules, the president tells Kaylee. The house won't negotiate, especially with the new sister. None of the sisters can move out of the house until they're juniors and have accumulated a certain number of service points. Even then, the AFI admins add another hurdle. Sisters need to pay for both living in and living out. I was never in a sorority, so if I'm not living there, I'm not paying there. You heard? So in late August, Kaylee struck stuck returning to the AFI house and its litany of COVID health and safety protocols. Kaylee doesn't want to do the physical distancing or the regular testing or the mandatory quarantine procedures, not any of it. But she's Kaylee, so she faces the reset head-on posting. Now let's get back to it. This year, the girls who are rushing sororities have their smiles hidden behind masks. Coffee meetings are held on Zoom. Hugging is not allowed. Still, Kaylee takes a liking to two of the freshmen. Emma Tiger, a beautiful brunette from Vancouver, Washington, whose soccer career was sidelined by an injury, and Jaden Anderson, a blonde from Spokane. One of the most important rituals among sorority sisters is choosing bigs and littles. A big mentors her chosen little through college, academically, and socially. Emma and Jaden are eager to become Kaylee's littles, partly because of her extraordinary enthusiasm and can-do attitude. When Kaylee hears there might be an in-house quarantine one weekend, she whisks Emma and Jaden off home with her to Coeur d'Alene. She takes them shopping, to concerts, for drinks, to coffee. She makes them baskets of goodies. She also was a girl you don't mess with, Emma recalled. Nobody would ever say a bad word about me in front of her because she was not okay with it. If there was some guy that was being rude to me at a party, Kaylee was the first one to say something to him. On Big Little Night in October, Kaylee surprises the two by waiting for them, shrouded in pink wrapping paper, in the parking lot by a large off-campus apartment building known as the Whites. When the two freshmen find Kaylee and unwrap her, their screams of delight echo several blocks away. At this point, the two younger girls are still caught up in the excitement and honor of being accepted in AFI. They don't know yet about the pressure that comes with being in the pretty girl's house. Darker times are just around the corner. So then we got chapter 4, Greek Row, Moscow, Idaho, September 2020. Xana, pronounced Xanax without the X, is how the petite brunette introduced herself to the Pi Phis on the first day, and everyone laughed. Her name is Xana Kernodle, and she's an irrepressible as Tigger in the Winnie the Pooh books. Always smiling when I'm with my Xan, Maddie captions a pair of Instagram posts, the two of them together on September 11th. Maddie tells Kaylee she is impressed with Xana because despite her freshman status, she is not afraid of anyone or anything. Xana isn't much used to rules. She grew up in Post Falls, Idaho, pretty much without her mother, Kara, who had been battling drug addiction much of her life and gave up custody of Xana and her sister Jasmine in 2006. Xana adores her dad, Jeff, but he traveled frequently for work, so Xana and Jazzy were often left on their own. Along with her best friend, Emily Alant, a pretty feisty blonde from Boise and a fellow new Pi Phi, Xana regularly busts out of the house at night and on the weekends, even though they've both been told to stay inside and stay sober. One evening, Maddie introduces Xana and Emily to a group of Sigma Chi brothers, and she's surprised and amused to discover the two new girls had already met them on an illicit night. That's pretty cool, actually, Maddie says to Kaylee the next morning. The two are tiring of the enforced restrictions in this life they had once wanted so badly. At AFI, I have a worse deal than you do, Kaylee tells Maddie, who is sympathetic. Under the stress of COVID restriction, Kaylee explains the bitchiness for which the house is infamous is coming to the fore. AFI is turning into a nightmare version of Mean Girls. I hear you, says Maddie. We didn't sign up for this. They begin to discuss their options for living off campus. Kaylee finds an apartment in the Whites. Maddie got her eye on a house right next to it, 1122 King Road, where some older Pi Phis like Sophia, her big, and Ashlyn, her best friend, in the house were planning to move. The house sticks up on the hill like a finger. It's got a deck in the back, so it will make a fantastic party space. Even better, Maddie tells Kaylee it signifies freedom. It's going to be great, she says. Chapter 5. You forgot your wallet? Maddie asks Jake Schreider. Maddie is all dressed up, even though it's just breakfast. She's wearing jeans with an oversized beige sweater that falls artfully off her shoulders. It should be obvious to Jake that she's taking this seriously. It's Valentine's Day, she told Kaylee it was a date. She told Xana and Emily it was a date. They are all eager to hear how it goes. and Jake has forgotten his wallet. The guy sitting opposite her in this cute downtown Moscow cafe called the Breakfast Club is a junior in the Delta fraternity who's been hotly pursuing her, pining for her, is how some of her friends put it, for over a year. Maddie always has a lot of admirers, though Jake is handsome, nice, fun, and a great water skier. For some reason, she's always kept him at bay. Maddie has to give the guy credit, though. He's never given up. He's stuck around, he's grown on her, and she's thinking of relenting. Now he stuck her with the bill. Maddie can already hear the girl shrieking with laughter. She knows they'll make fun of her. Sure enough, when she tells them, they think it's hilarious. I would think that'd be pretty funny too. That night, Emily posted a picture of Maddie, all made up, false lashes on, clearly ready to go out on Snapchat. It cheekily captioned, "Didn't even pay for the date." Still, the handsome upperclassman succeeds in winning Maddie's affections. Soon after Valentine's Day, Maddie commits to Jake. She stops seeing other guys, and from then on, they're a thing. Just over a year later, on April 27th, she'll post a throwback on Instagram of some of the couple's best times together, boating in Coeur d'Alene, at the Watershed Music Festival, hanging out at school. Maddie captions the post, "1 year with my best friend. Life is so much sweeter with you in it. I love you lots and lots." At Jake Strider. Jake will soon be graduating and moving to Boise for a job. Maddie wants to move there too, get a summer job, and be with him. Why? Because Jake, she decided, is her future. Chapter 6. Moscow, Idaho, fall 2021. Family breakfast is Kaylee's conscious effort to maintain her bonds with her 4 best friends from A5. I think it's AFI. Sorry, Ava, Zoe, Katie, and Phoebe. Kaylee is cooking in the little kitchen in her off-campus apartment at the Whites. The pan is sizzling as the pancakes she's making turn golden brown. They look and smell delicious. She whips out her phone so she can document the moment with an Instagram post. Helping Kaylee out in the kitchen is her boyfriend since middle school, Jack Decor. Like Maddie, he came to UI mostly because he wanted to be with Kaylee. Jack is living off campus in a house close to Kaylee with a bunch of his Beta Theta Phi fraternity brothers. He and Kaylee go to games together. They share custody of their golden doodle Murphy. She even includes Jack in her AFI Instagram post. He's family. Everyone loves Jack, an Idaho All-State tennis player. He has strawberry blonde hair and freckles. In photos, he bears more than a passing resemblance to the Harry Potter character Ron Weasley. But in real life, he is considerably more handsome. Jack is as quiet and calm as Kaylee is effervescent. He's a rock for Kaylee as long as she wants one. And to be sure, her family and friends have always had the impression that Kaylee decides the tempo in terms of the relationship. Recently, though, there have been small signs of trouble in paradise. Kaylee been feeling an itch to do things on her own, not because she wants to part from Jack, but because she likes being independent. "Jack, I need 5 hours to get ready," Kaylee will tell him as she sits down at her vanity. That means he needs to go away, and he does. Kaylee has a lot on her mind now that she's finally won her freedom and is living off campus. She wants to travel to experience the world, to learn what's out there beyond Coeur d'Alene. And she wants to make money. COVID helped expand her professional network online, and she made connections at Extreme Networks, an IT firm in Austin, Texas, doing work she's interested in pursuing full-time. Her dad and her brother are in IT, so it's in the blood. The job would require a big move and probably leaving Jack behind. If Jack is serious about her, he might have to play the long game and wait, which is what he's doing now as she flips pancake after pancake and piles them into a stack. "Almost ready?" Jack asked her. Kaylee pours more batter into the sizzling pan. "It'll be a little while." Chapter 7, Moscow, Idaho, August 2021. Tomorrow is bid day, and Ethan Chapin and his brother Hunter have options. In the freshman dorms, Ethan, all 6'4" of him, turns on the shower stands under the torrent of hot water and closes the stall door. He wants a moment of privacy. He wants a moment to mull over the choice he's facing. The Chapin triplets grew up in Mount Vernon, Washington, 2 hours north of Seattle, and they seem to have it all. Looks, height, smarts, athletic ability, likability. Ethan is a suburb athlete. He played varsity basketball. Hunter was right there with him, but always one step behind. sometimes on the bench. Their blonde sister Maisie played varsity soccer. All three of them are first-rate golfers. And all three of them are as tight as can be. They shared rooms and meals since the day they were born. Before, even during her pregnancy, Stacy Chapin, their mom, used to joke that Hunter, who was born last, was on top of the penthouse. It's unsaid that, but understood that whatever choice Ethan makes, Hunter will follow. That's the dynamic of their relationship, always has been. So Ethan is thinking pretty hard about what his decision will be, knowing it affects them both. The obvious choice is Sigma Chi. It's the fraternity for athletes who have smarts, and yet he's leaning towards Pi Delta Theta, which is by reputation a dry house, but it's also known for the Stoner Gamer House. It's also known as the Stoner Gamer House. Not Ethan's thing, but an older Delt has been persuasive. Over several meetings during Rush, Hunter Johnson, who is doing a master's in athletic training, has made an understated, yet confident case for Phi Delta Theta by demonstrating qualities that Ethan admires in a brother. Ethan gets out of the shower, still lost in thought. A door bangs open. He looks up. Emerging from the next shower stall is another freshman, Tim DeWolf, a blonde hunk of a varsity basketball and soccer player from Odessa, Washington, a small farming community. DeWolf, who is also 6'4", excludes masculinity. Hey, Tim, Ethan says, what house are you going into? Tim looks at Ethan like he's stupid. Duh, Sigma Chi, he says. It's the natural fit for athletic dudes like them. Oh, says Ethan. Well, I was thinking of Phi Delta Theta because of Hunter Johnson. Hunter Johnson, Ethan feels, has a unique sort of soulful charm. He's a talented guitar player. He's slender yet athletic, but also goofy. But Tim DeWolf is it. Ethan pauses, then says, but if you're going to Sigma Chi, then I'm going to Sigma Chi. And with that, the angst is over. The decision is made. Chapter 8, Moscow, Idaho, October 3rd, 2021. The doorbell rings at 1118 King Road, the rectangular house with huge windows, a design that inspired the building's nickname, Shark Tank, sits just off campus. The place might as well be called Party Central because just a few weeks into the fall semester, its 5 occupants, especially Xana and Emily, have become known for hosting the best and most frequent parties at UI. That Sunday morning, a bunch of freshman Sigma Chi brothers are standing there summoned to get to know the Shark Tank women by playing a game called Champagne's Shackles. Come on in, says Xana. She and Emily grin. They both got bottles of bubbly ready. And the zip ties. The rules of the game are simple. The ties go around the wrist of a pair, a man and woman, who have to stay tied together until their bottle of champagne is finished, even when going to the restroom. The tall, dark Chapin brothers, Ethan and Hunter, are easy to spot among the crowd of Sigma Chi freshmen. One of Xana and Emily's housemates, Josie, a pretty brunette from Boise, immediately called dibs on both of them. Xana cracks up. Josie, can you even tell them apart? She asked. Excitement builds as they all whip out their phones to take the most embarrassing photos possible for social media. That's part of the fun of this. It's almost the point. Xana has on an eclectic outfit, a psychedelic sun hat that is a mix of bright pinks, purples, and yellows, a yellow bustier, and black jeans. She's in her element, giggling as Emily photographs her sitting on the toilet while the guy she shackled to, Peter, is stuck on the floor by her side. Sitting in the living room, practically immobilized by the ties for hours, Ethan can't help but notice Xana's effortless magnetism. Xana is the one running the music. DJ Xan, her housemates yell as she changes songs. She's the one in charge of the shambolic wee dancing and making sure everyone has drinks. Xana is the focal point of the party, though she doesn't seem to notice the attention. When the game's over and the day's finally winding down, Ethan asks Xana about herself. He discovers that Xana is just Xana. She has no big plans, no idea what her future is. She's in the present. She makes no apologies for this. She's the most real person he's ever met. He's hooked. In the next few days and weeks, he often finds himself making the few 100-yard trek from Sigma Chi to the Shark Tank. He and Hunter regularly hoist their massive stereo on their broad shoulders and carry it across the lower 40 as the field is called, so DJ Xan can play whatever she wants. In the midst of all the music, the dancing, the talking, he notices that Xana gets some work done by passing her assignment book around and insisting each person take a stab at writing a paragraph. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Oh my God. That makes me laugh so hard. Zana, how you gonna do that? I don't even know what happened to my phone. I don't even know if we're still on live over here because it just oh, okay, disconnected. We'll reconnect it. So I'm gonna read that again. So it says, in the midst of all the music, the dancing, the talking, he notices that Xana gets some work done, like schoolwork, by passing her assignment book around and insisting each person take a stab at writing a paragraph. You know what her papers probably sounded like? Oh, I wonder if we can get a hold of those. Oh, we got to call the school. We got to get a hold of Xana's whole papers. They are probably so psychedelic. If you were on shrooms or something, or you'd probably be, I love that. I think that's pretty hilarious. Really quick, I went to school with a guy, and on his senior year, his last paper for English, he wrote it all in crayons. I was like, oh no, he didn't. The teacher was pissed. It says her spirit is infectious. I bet it was. When you think you can't get any more impressed with her, something like this happens and you're just more impressed. So smitten, he asked Xana to become his big. According to the okay, we're gonna have to. What rules are these?
1.
What the heck?
1.
Oh, don't you do this to me. I don't even know what page we were on. Hold on, I'll find out. Looks like 96. There it is. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, we're right here. According to the fraternity rules, there can be brothers and sisters in different houses, though dating your Greek sibling is considered sort of incestuous. But Xana has never cared about the rules. In early 2022, it starts to become unclear as to when Ethan arrives and when Ethan leaves 1118 King Road. Does he actually go home at night, or does he sleep over at Xana's room? Anything going on I should know about? Emily asked Xana one morning. Xana shakes her head. She'll speak only when she's 100% sure 100% sure what she wants to say. Chapter 9, Boise, Idaho, April of 2021. It's nearly midnight when Karen Adelant wakes to her ringing phone. The caller ID says it's Xana. Karen's blood runs cold, as any mother's would. Is Xana okay? Is her daughter Emily okay? She picks up, panicked. Mama Karen, guess what? Says Xana casually, as if the late hour were completely irrelevant. Xana, you scared me half to death. Do you know what time it is? Karen asks. Xana just laughs. Karen relaxes in spite of herself. How distant and rich and simply full of joy Xana's laugh is. I want you to be the first to know I've got a boyfriend. Karen giggles. Giggles at the needlessness of this conversation. It's been obvious to everyone that Xana and Ethan are on the cusp of something, but she plays the game. How did the talk go? Did you guys sit down and discuss it seriously? Xana spills the details. No, it was easy. We didn't need to talk. We didn't need a big talk. It just happened naturally. Xana is a free spirit. Karen sees the relationship as a sign she's growing up. In fact, all the Shark Tank girls are growing up, forming committed attachments. Emily has begun to date Hunter Johnson. Josie is seeing another Delt, Lyndon Beck. Karen is thrilled that Xana feels able to share this moment with her. She has developed strong maternal feelings towards this exuberant, effervescent young woman who is so passionate, so resilient, so unself-pitying, despite a difficult upbringing. Xana doesn't talk much about having grown up without a mother, but the signs of loneliness are there for them all to see. Emily could sense that Xana's home life wasn't exactly the most orderly. Sometimes Xana drives over to Pullman, where her older sister Jasmine, Jazzy, is studying marketing at Washington State. Jazzy, petite and pretty, is the sensible one. Xana idolizes her big sister and wants to follow in her footsteps. Jazzy also has nice stuff, so when Xana and Emily visit her in her dorm, Emily knows she's supposed to chat with Jazzy to distract her while Xana fletches a shirt or whatever she needs from her sister's closet. In the Pi-Fi house, Xana has mismatched bedding, few clothes. Emily teaches Xana how to do her makeup, how to use a curling iron, skills that other girls learned years ago, but that no one has ever taught Xana. That's sad. Before their first Christmas break, Emily noticed that Xana was the only one not packing. Xana, she said, where are you going for winter break? Xana shrugged and said she didn't know. Her dad, Jeff, might not be home. She didn't know his new girlfriend, and she didn't like her didn't much like her room in the basement. The first Christmas, Emily invited her home to Boise to hang out with her parents, Matt, an Army veteran, and Karen, a pretty blonde who was a dead ringer for her daughter. At first, the Atlanta, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but didn't know what to make of this free-spirited young woman their daughter had brought home, but Xana, with her expressive hand movements, her open personality, and it had a talent for winning people over, making everyone laugh. Now Xana regularly stays with the Adlants during breaks. Karen looks forward to their 11 p.m. phone call. She comes to visit the girls in the Shark Tank and goes out with them sometimes. Karen starts to consider Xana a second daughter. After Xana hangs up with Karen, she finds Emily and gives her the news. You told my mom first, you bitch, Emily says with a laugh, then gives Xana a hug. So then we got chapter 10, Priest Lake, Idaho. It's going to be summer of 2022. It's 4 p.m. and Ethan Chapin is finishing up his shift as a server at the Hills Resort restaurant nestled on beautiful Priest Lake up in the Idaho mountains. The sparkling water with its snow-crested surroundings got its name from the Jewish missionaries who once lived there. The Chapins have two homes, one in Mount Vernon near Seattle and a summer house on Priest Lake. His mom came here as a little girl, and he and his family have been coming here all his life. There's nowhere Ethan would rather be. He yells to Hunter, and the two head to his favorite place within his favorite place, the resort's sand volleyball court right on the shore in front of the resort's bar and restaurant. The community is tight. No one locks their doors. People call one another by their first names. Ethan knocks on the door of cabin 101, which belongs to Zylek family. It's a running joke that the Zyleks are uber competitive. Ethan's ideal matchup is the 6 Zylek kids versus everyone else. Whatever the number, he finds a way to make a game of it. Once on the volleyball court, he strips off his shirt and takes his position. He and Hunter hit the ball back and forth over the net while a little crowd, including their parents, Jim and Stacy, and this summer, Xana, gathers to watch the magnificent sight of Ethan in full athletic mode. He jumps, he sets, he dives, he spikes, a mythic god, Greek god in action. Ethan made varsity basketball as a high school freshman, but COVID restrictions deprived him from a, oh man, that sucks, crucial competitive seasons that he could have prepped him to play at the college level. Over the summer, the Chapin triplets worked at the Hills Resort, which was full to bursting with people wanting a royal escape. This time together made the trio realize that they wanted to attend the same college and they needed to be east of the mountains, and they wanted to be involved in Greek life to keep the small family feeling that they were used to at home. UI was an easy decision. WSU felt vast when they visited. By comparison, Greek row at UI felt so small and bullock, and it was like a private school. Their mom, Stacy, a former school principal and a Greek life alum at the University of Puget Sound, I don't know where that's at, was relieved that her children would experience the safety net and type of community that had been such a welcome part of her own college years. Is that like a private school? I have never heard of that. I'm about to look that up. Sorry. I don't need all that, just this part. It is a liberal arts college in Tacoma, Washington. Okay. It's a nice school. Okie dokie. Let me get the book part back out. This is kind of a pain. I bet if I put them on, I have like 5 screens. I can make this a lot easier. I know I can. If you guys are just now joining us, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, it really helps the channel and helps get us out into the algorithm. Okay. It says, now as Stacy watches her son leap around on the volleyball court, she's filled with pride. UI has been exactly the nurturing place she wanted for them. They're thriving. Her husband, Jim, who believes Stacy's judgment is constantly rock solid, agrees. After the game, Jim, Stacy, Hunter, Maisie, Ethan, and Xana sprint to the boat Jim recently bought to satisfy his kids' love of the water. They turn the music up high, blasting out Morgan Wallen's latest album, and Jim drives the boat while the kids take turns wakeboarding and sipping drinks from the cooler. Ethan and Hunter love boarding so much that early every morning, they stuff their work clothes into their backpacks and go out on the water, coming back with only 5 minutes to spare before their shifts. Jim drops them at the dock and they sprint barefoot to their post. This summer, Ethan has been inseparable from Santa, who's been staying with the Chapins most of the time. Stacy can see immediately that her son is serious about this carefree young woman. The Chapins happily welcome her as one of their own. Changes are ahead for the upcoming fall semester. Xana is moving from the Shark Tank into a rental house on King Road. Stacy and Jim have rented Ethan an apartment in Moscow. The Sigma Chi president told Ethan that frat brothers who are double deficient, that is, with a GPA below 2.75, for 2 consecutive semesters have to live outside the house. Stacy's only concern about her oldest triplet is how far his grades have slipped. Though she suspects Ethan will stay most nights with Xana, she knows that the forced separation from his fraternity brothers will motivate him to raise his grades and high enough to return to the Sigma Chi house. In the boat, the wind whips up and the sun slowly starts to redden and sink low into the horizon. Jim turns the boat towards the shore. Ethan turns the volume 1 notch higher, and they head home listening to Morgan Wallen's Heartless. If this isn't paradise, Stacy thinks, then what is? Chapter 11. Let's see what chapter I thought we were going to get to. Oh, shoot. Oh, I went past what I was going to do. Wow. Okay. Let's stop there. Like, we'll read to chapter 10. You know what I mean? Like, we'll go 1 to 10. I have to change it on the thumbnail. What time is it? Yeah, we'll do that so I can... I'm going to write that down so I can get some sleep tonight too. Because I have not been sleeping very good. So we went all the way to chapter 10. Wow. I'm like, wow, I'm still I know I probably could go longer, but let me see. I think it'll work better that way. So that way if people want to watch me. Yeah, the chapters are really short. I think the prelude, or whatever that stupid thing's called, was the longest thing. You know what I mean? Let's see. We went 41 pages. On here it says 107, but I think it's because this is large print compared to the book, which I'm so happy I got the book. Like True Crime Lullabies is so sweet for doing that. Hey, Debbie, don't leave, Debbie. Bye, Debbie. I'm like, hi, bye. Hi, bye. I was going to say something. I can't remember. Should we go for a little bit longer? I think we can go a little longer. Okay. We'll go to chapter 15 or something. Because that'll put us at yeah, we'll do that. So Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, July 31st, 2020. The room is spinning like it often does when Xana has had one too many White Claws, which she has today out on the lake. She falls flat on her face, feels the pain immediately. She looks in the mirror. She chipped her front tooth. Sounds like a me problem right there. Damn, she turns to Emily. She's upset, and not because it's going to cost money to fix the tooth. I don't want to be this person anymore, she tells her understanding friend. Xana is well aware of her reputation as a free-spirited girl in their core friend group. Xana and Ethan, Emily Hunter Johnson, Josie Linden, Peter Elgaraga, and Ethan's triplet siblings, Hunter and Maisie. But she wants to change that. Xana wants to grow up. She wants to be someone who fits in the world of Ethan and his parents. The Chapin family is fun, easygoing, but as Xana has seen, their life is different from her hardscrabble existence in her dad's basement. At Priest Lake, the Chapins play golf on the local course. Xana has never played golf, but the Chapin triplets are really good. They love it like they love all sports. When Xana first joined them on the course, she found that hitting a golf ball was harder than it looked. Out of mockery for their passion, she threw a club, then took a swig of her drink. Everyone laughed. As Karen Allen, Mama Karen has noticed, Xana is someone who is prepared to make a total fool of herself in public if it will put someone else at ease. But Xana doesn't want to be the butt of everyone's jokes forever. She never thought about her future before, but she does now. She wants to become a person who is taken more seriously. And she wants to grow old with Ethan. Chapter 12, Moscow, Idaho, June 2022. Maddie can hardly believe it when Kaylee walks through the front door of 1122 King Road. She pulled it off. Their freshman year bid day, when the best friends were accepted by different sororities, feels like a distant dream. Here they are in their senior year, finally getting to live together. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Maddie walks to the car and starts helping Kaylee unload boxes and boxes of her stuff. Everyone knows that Kaylee doesn't travel light. She hauls a bag through the sliding glass door at the back and into her new room. Everyone also knows which room is Maddie's. She puts the letters of her name in the window, and her signature pink cowboy boots sit on the sill. Maddie's vanity is just behind. When it's dark and her lights are on, everyone walking by can see her putting on her mascara. Maddie took over the King Road lease from graduating Pi Phis, and she's pulled together a great group, her family away from family. Perfect for a year of transition, which is what it's going to be. Jake graduated and is back home in Boise, but their plan is to make it through this year together. Long distance. They speak every night at 8. Maddie has been meticulous about keeping the appointment a source of amusement for her new roommates, who are now all moved in. Xana has taken a room on the main level. Of course, Maddie invited Emily too, but because Xana and Emily are almost as inseparable as Xana and Ethan. But Emily had already made plans to room with Josie, her childhood friend from Boise, next door at the Whites, the building where her boyfriend, Hunter Johnson, has also rented an apartment. So 1122 King Road, other 2 rooms went to 2 blonde Pi Phi sorority or sophomores who finagled a way to move out of the sorority house. Dylan Mortensen, who is Emily's little, and Bethany Funk, Maddie's little. Maddie bangs on each of their doors. Xana, Dylan, Bethany, she yells, photo time. They groan but accept their fate, and the 5 women in their skimpy summery dresses gather on the King Road deck. Maddie hands Ethan the camera. They pose squinting into the afternoon sun. Dylan, Xana, Bethany, Kaylee, Maddie. Meet the roommates. Maddie captions the photo, and she makes the post public as she always does. She doesn't think of any risk associated with that. Why would she? The more followers you have, the better for your career in marketing. Maddie's life in this moment, here and now, is pretty much perfect and going exactly where she wants it to go, or wants it to. Sorry, sometimes I put words in there that don't belong. I'm just, recreating it. So, chapter 13, Moscow, Idaho, Emily's dream. The following scene, a reoccurring nightmare, is what Emily later says after she lost her friends before justice has brought closure. She imagines could have happened that summer. The details of the surroundings change from dream to dream, but the gist of what happens stays the same. It's the only explanation she can come up with, the only one that makes any sense. It haunts her day and night because the uncertainty of whether it's real or not real will never go away. Maddie wipes down the table and turns to get fresh cutlery to seat the new customers. As jobs go, waitressing at the Mad Greek is a pretty good gig. The 40-seat restaurant with a vegan-friendly menu isn't one of the more popular ones in Moscow, so servers, all college kids' friends, don't get run off their feet. Maddie, grateful for the pay, she can make as much as $80 per shift, which covers her gas and her Ulta card and the trendy clothes she likes so much. And there's the added bonus that the manager asked her to redo the restaurant's website. Maddie continues laying the table. Then she turns and notices him. Oops. Unusual looking, intense bulging eyes, thin, almost emaciated, and pale, almost ghost white. He's raising his hand. He wants her attention. She smooths her skirt and walks over with a smile. He orders a vegan pizza to go. He's staring at her intently. Maddie is used to male attention, but this time it feels uncomfortable. I'm Bryan, he says. What's your name? Maddie hesitates and then tells him. Why wouldn't she? Everyone here knows it. She hands him the check, and as he pays, he asks, would you like to go out sometime? This is an easy one, Maddie thinks. The idea of going out with the strange-looking guy is surreal. He doesn't know it took Jake, her boyfriend, a whole 2 years to become her boyfriend. Maddie is anything but easy, even for guys she likes, and she doesn't know or like this one. She flicks back her hair. No, she says. She smiles, laughs a bit. It's a nervous habit she has, especially with guys she turns down. She doesn't mean anything rude by it. But this guy looks at her strangely, like he doesn't believe what he's hearing. He gets up slowly, still staring at her, and walks out. Maddie shakes her head and goes about her business. She doesn't give the guy another thought. She doesn't see the guy walk to his car, a white Hyundai Elantra, sit in the driver's seat and type her name into his phone. Her Instagram, with the photos of her past and present, is there for all to see. Maddie in a bikini, Maddie with her roommates, Maddie and her friends posing in skimpy clothes for a fit check before a night out. Maddie, Maddie, Maddie. He looks, he presses like once, twice, 3 times, and he looks and likes some more. If that's how that all really went down, that would be weird. I'd be like, you weird. Chapter 14, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, September 2022. Kaylee stares at the guy on the couch incredulously. Did he really just say that? Bitch, go make me a quesadilla. Wow, she wishes that she weren't at his house on this awful date. She wishes that she hadn't broken up with Sweet Jack. Maybe she'd been too hasty. Kaylee had erased him from nearly all of her social media posts, normal protocol when couples break up. Yeah, I never did that. Everything's still on my Facebook. I ain't even lying. I'm not even lying at all. Everything that's ever happened, I never deleted it. I don't delete stuff. But look at my page. I got like 100, or I got like 1,000, almost 2,000 videos. Your girl does not delete. It says, but now she's wondering if Jack might be the nicest guy on the planet. And if most other guys are assholes like this one in front of her, Jack would never use the B word. She'd later tell her older sister, Olivia, never. He couldn't even be mean or distant after she broke up with him. If he felt any pain or animosity, he didn't show it. He's just kind, sweet, gentle. He still swings by the King Road house every few days to pick up Murphy, their golden doodle. She texts him about Murphy, telling him she's coming over with the dog or she needs him to come get their pet, but she's never sure if she's reaching out for Murphy or for herself. Little of both, probably. The truth of it is, Kaylee still loves Jack. She didn't want to hurt him. She didn't even want a part from him. She just wanted a chance to discover herself, to break ties before leaving for a new town in a new state. Kaylee's internship with Extreme Networks, the IT company in Austin, has turned into a full-time job, and she now squeezes around her classes. In January, she's headed to Texas to work there on site. She's rightfully proud of her role as a channel manager, which means she comes in after the IT equipment has been sold to a business and explains to the customer how best to use it. She's particularly proud of a winning pitch she made to a coffee box about where to install Wi-Fi in their store so customers can easily order on their phones while standing in line. She made a 10-minute video, and despite her lack of experience, the video was singled out by her bosses and sent company-wide. Kaylee keeps impressing me. Paul Schmeck, the head of sales for the Americas, emailed his executive team, and he included a link to the video presentation Kaylee had made and worked her ass off to get it right. The last place I worked, they used my video for their training videos still. Weird. Every morning this summer, she had a preparatory remote session with Olivia, a project manager who lives in LA and buys real estate with an eye to renting the properties out on Airbnb. Olivia is wicked smart and she's talented with tech. And after Kaylee goes back and forth with Olivia, she checks the lingo with her dad, Steve, whose entire career has been in IT support. So now she looks at the jerk in front of her who just called her a bitch and told her to make him a quesadilla. No one pushes Kaylee around like that, especially not a guy in a state she's leaving. Kaylee is an independent woman. She makes good money from Extreme Networks and from her tips at La Casa Lopez, a Mexican joint in Moscow. And she spends her own money, $300 a week, on the gym and meal plans. She knows she's looking for her best right now. Kaylee doesn't like this guy. She doesn't need any guy except maybe Jack, who she's going to phone when she gets home. She's going to phone Olivia too and tell her that. She looks at this dude one more time. What a prick. You can make your own quesadillas. She gets up, she grabs her purse, and she walks out. On the drive home, she looks forward to the weekend back on campus and reenacting the scene for her new roomies. She can already see Xana roaring with laughter and Maddie rarely throwing her hands in the air. Yes, she thinks they will have plenty to say about it when she tells them. Kaylee, they'll cry pretending to be exasperated. Why is there always so much drama around you? Okay, so we'll go to chapter 15. We'll stop there. So, okay, I'm gonna put me back up here. This is a good book. Pretty good. Yeah, Squeaky. I like this one a little bit. This one was actually the families were involved with this book. Like Ethan's mom and dad were involved with this book. I'm not sure if the other family members were, but I know that he thanks people in here. So like in the beginning, I didn't read that part, like who he thanks. Let me see it. I thought like author's notes maybe. This book reads like fiction, but none of it is made up. Okay. Every detail in these pages have been meticulously sourced through interviews or have been factually documented. Okay. This book couldn't have been written without the help and support of hundreds of people, including the 320 individually interviewed, some many times, by Vicky Ward. We'd especially like to thank the victims' friends and family for giving us so much precious time, hospitality, and insight. The Chapin family and Hunter Johnson for sharing about Ethan, the Goncalveses family for sharing about Kaylee, Ben Mogen and Kim Sheely, aka Deedle, for sharing about Maddie, and the Alant family, Karen, Matt, Emily, Xana's best friends, for sharing so much about Xana. Moscow, Idaho Police Chief James Fry, now retired, generally gave his time and shared his insights on dealing with the most horrific crime of his career amid worldwide media scrutiny. So yeah, because he could talk. Like James Fry, or Chief Fry can talk. Because he's not the chief there anymore. He's in another state. So he's out of the gag order, right? I don't know. I guess he was. Thanks also to Kathy Mabbitt, the coroner. And then some retired officers. Okay. At the University of Idaho, thank you to the Dean of Students. Thank you to the University of Idaho Vandals. Gives like a bunch of names. And to the guys at Sigma Chi Fraternity, especially Gus, Tim, and Kyle. He has their last names, but I'm not giving them. I'm just, reading them fast. The city, the mayor. Wow, they have a lot of people here. WSU alumni, Ben Roberts, Cassie, Delilah, for a sense of Kohberger's life in the Poconos, thanks to Mark and Jack Bayless, Connie Saba, Josh Ferrero. Okay. And Josh Ferrero is the guy that's been all over. He's been everywhere. He's been on the docuseries. He's been on the documentary. He's been everywhere. Hopefully you guys could hear me okay over on TikTok, because I did have this one. Is it still on? Yeah, it's still on. I wonder how long this lasts. I don't know. My phone's lasting though. I charged it before. I'm gonna take this off. I charged it before the live, so. Well, maybe I think we'll get some more answers because they did say in this book that they give like a motive. So I'm assuming the motive was Maddie, but I'm not a big fan of Howard Bloom either. I could put the comments back up and then I can take the banner down. I usually don't have banners. I just like a clean look, you know, a clean aesthetic. Clean aesthetic. Okay. But I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Let me see if there's anything that I don't think that there's anything that is on the Idaho site. I looked a little bit ago, like before the live, but we are also a couple hours behind. So no, it just says on the 10th, the notice of hearing, the motion to vacate the non-dissemination order. So they were supposed to have that at sentencing. If you haven't heard, they were supposed to do that at sentencing. They were going to open up the non-dissemination order for everybody to have, or I'm assuming everyone to have. I put in a FOIA. I don't think I've heard anything back from them. So I don't know if they're just going to send me stuff or what, but usually like you'll get a response, like whether you can have this stuff or you can't, or you'll get a response. I didn't get one, so I don't know. But thank you guys all for being here tonight. I do appreciate it. Thank you for being here on Twitter. Thank you for being here on TikTok. I appreciate it. If you guys do want to follow me more if you're on TikTok, come over to YouTube at TitaniumBuilt. That's where I'll be. So yeah. But thank you guys for being here tonight. Thanks for listening to me. I'll be back on tomorrow to do another live. I'm going to do 2 lives tomorrow. I'm doing one on my other channel that I haven't been on in like a month. I have not been over there for like 2 months, actually, I think. It's been a while. We've got memberships we can gift out. We got all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to get some rest because tomorrow it's going to be crazy. And then my TikTok name, if you want to follow me on TikTok, is TitaniumBuilt. You should be able to find me under TitaniumBuilt. It's just like at TitaniumBuilt. Let me see if I can. Does this work? I'm like, does my Nightbot work? My commands work? Yep, there we go. Oh, thanks. I knew that, baby girl, actually. I think I saw a video with you the other day. Oh, thank you, Mary Beth, for gifting out 5 memberships. Wow, thank you so much. Angie, Proud Mama, Liverpool, got one, Darling, and Bonnie. I appreciate that. I got an email today, which was really weird. It was from somebody, a blast from my past. We have to have a members live soon. We do. We need one. We need one soon. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to you guys over there on TikTok. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you so much. It'll delete. I don't know how to save them. I wonder if you could I don't know how to send it or save it. So, whatever. But I got 1,000 likes over there. Didn't get 1,000 over here though. Didn't get 1,000 likes over here, but that's fine. Just kidding. That's fine. But thank you guys so much. Actually, I think we got a lot of likes though, didn't we? We did. Look at that. If we could get we can get them up to 200, I'd be so excited. So thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate you guys. I'll be back on, like I said, tomorrow. I'm going to do the live on the second channel and during the day. I'll have the thumbnail. The thumbnail's made. I showed it to you guys earlier, but I'll have the actual, live setup in the morning by the morning. So you'll see it. And we're going to talk about all of this grifting going on these streets because I think people need to know what grifting means and just exactly who all is doing it, because it's not just one person, not just 2 people. It's a whole community. It's a whole community. So thank you so much for gifting out memberships, Mary Beth. That was very sweet of you. I appreciate that so much. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. I'm going to go clean my kitchen because it was a mess this morning and I did not like cleaning it up this morning. So I'm going to clean it up tonight. But thanks again for listening to me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did appreciate the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do talk about true crime every evening. We'll be reading this book for a little while because it's pretty thick. So if you want to hang out with us and read the book, you're more than welcome to. Also, if something comes up in between we'll have the hearing coming up and stuff like that, we'll pause the book that day and of course cover the new stuff that comes out. Anything new that comes out, like if it's just something small, I'll always tell you in the beginning of the live before we start reading the book. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.
Come in just